Okay, we're here at 12892 Daughtery Drive, just to give you, bring up to speed on what we've done so far. We're going to do this video as a supplement for your home inspection report so you can have a good visual aid to go along with the photos and the inspection report itself. Okay, just looking here from the street view, first thing I see is you buy a fire hydrant. That's a good thing. You may want to let your insurance company know about that. Right in front of your house there is a sewer access. So that we know that you are on a public sewer system. Looking at the house, it's a gable style roof with fiberglass asphalt shingles. Okay, we've opened the garage. You can see the driveway pavers are looking good. Okay, if we come to the front right side of the house, or I guess it would be maybe the northwest corner, you can see the sewer line. Alright, and as we walk around here, the first thing that we're going to come to on the side of the house is your main service disconnect panel. I've taken the cover off of that so I could see the wiring. The wiring looks really good. Everything in here looks really good. The thing that you'll see in your electrical section is there's a disconnected ground wire here. You can see this. Okay, I believe it should be connected to that grounding rod over there. The wire from the panel comes down and is connected to this grounding rod here. Now, as I looked around the side of the building, the most common thing we see in Florida is builders do not put gutters on the roofs to control rainwater. So if that gets neglected over a period of time, you end up with this. You end up with a lot of erosion. There's been about 4 or 5 inches of erosion here, and that's occurred because the water's been allowed to fall by the foundation. These grounding rods that are exposed because of that erosion. Originally, they would have been underground. This is a concrete block masonry home. It appears to be in good condition overall. You do have cracks on 3 sides of the building, mostly at the windows. You can see the typical stucco cracks that are here. You'll want to get those sealed up so that they don't allow for any water to penetrate when you have wind-driven rains. Okay, or when you have a lot of water runoff from the roof coming down and splashing off of the ground. Alright, you can see the condition of the wall here as we move around the side of the building. Okay, naturally we've checked all the hose bibs to make sure they're functional. Took the water pressure at the main valve as well as the washer and dryer area valves to make sure that they worked. Okay, now they did put gutters in that side of the building, but that's like the only places. I think it's just a small section in the front and a small section in the back. Okay, here you can see the backyard fenced in. Okay, just kind of walking around the back of the building. We're going to do some footage from the top of the roof in a little while so you get an idea of that and what it looks like. Okay, this box here, as I walk towards it on my right side, and here's an irrigation valve box. And we come around the corner, first thing we see here is your condenser unit. This is a carrier system. This is a 3.5 ton condenser unit, and it was manufactured in 2005. The only thing we have here that I'm going to recommend getting repaired is this suction line, which has a little dent in it here. Okay, and the insulation is gone off of most of it. So you want to make sure that we get that looked at, get that repaired. Coming along the second side of the house here, the east side, and you can see the erosion. It's the same thing. So my recommendation is going to be to put some gutters up to control all that. Now, another thing I noticed is something minor, but you're probably already aware of. You have a lot of wasps, particularly during the summertime, but this house has been neglected for a while, so you've got a lot of nests here. They're active. So you'll want to have a pest control company come out and just kill those for you. This way you eliminate the possibility of running with those guys. Okay, you can see more cracking here. These cracks are settlement cracks, and they should be monitored because we don't know if they'll move again. But with any crack, that's what you do. You basically would seal it and pay attention to it and see what it does over time. Right now, I suspect that the conditions here are conducive to potential structural movement, but once you get control over the water runoff from the roof and filling some of the eroded areas, at least you'll be in better shape then. Okay, here on the side of the house, the east side again, you can see erosion has gotten down here and these wires are exposed, so you'd want to get this covered up so that nobody chops it with an edger, for example. This is your backflow preventer for the sprinkler system, and that's a rain sensor. There's a sprinkler panel in the garage. Also on the east side of the house, exterior garage wall, this is your main shutoff valve. You're going to see a repair in your home inspection report that tells you that this valve is not fully functional. It's not fully functional because it does not turn all the way. which means that it won't shut the flow of water off completely. And that purpose of that valve is in the event of emergency to be able to shut the water off completely. Okay, walking around to the front here, finish our loop around the house. Your water meter is at the end of the driveway. Okay, I opened that up and I took a look in there to make sure that the water meter was not spinning with no water running in the house. That's how I'm fairly confident that we don't have any mainline leaks or any interior leaks in the house that we can't see. Going into the garage, we operated the garage door opener. Seems to work fine. Garage door's in decent condition. That's your irrigation panel. We're going to run those sprinklers and see how they do. I saw it looks like some damaged heads outside. There's a chance it may come on, but maybe you'll have a handful of heads to repair. Water heater's looking okay. All right, looks like they put in a connection here for possibly a water softener system or something. If you wanted to add that, that's what this pipe here is for. All right, this is a Rheem water heater. It's 40 gallons, manufactured 2005. You can see the plumbing connections look pretty good. Okay, there's really no major concerns with your water heater. I also checked for GFI protection in the garage. You can see that there's your GFI outlet there. The outside receptacles and the garage receptacles are all ground fault protected. Okay, this is the sub panel. Okay, in the garage at the south wall, things look pretty good here. You can see the condition of the copper wires. They're very shiny, very good condition. You would expect that. The home is only 9 years old. Okay, your main wiring is 2-aught aluminum. That looks good. Copper bus bar looks good. AFCI protection is there for arc faults for bedrooms and devices in bedrooms like smoke detectors. That's there. Okay, and all the wires and breakers look pretty good. So far so good as we move around here. And we're going to come in. This is the laundry area. We checked for water pressure at the main valves there. I checked your 220 and your 110. When I get into the attic, I will check the dryer duct and vent on the roof. And the last part of this clip is just to look at the air handler unit. Okay, this is the carrier air handler unit. It is a 4-ton. Okay, in 2005 they weren't required to give you a float switch, but they gave you a float switch there. That's in case condensation overflows. There is some water stains here that we're going to pay attention to. They don't look like they've been wet recently. Leaking has happened here before into the intake area. You can see that. And I'll take it underneath so you can see your coils. Okay, definitely will want to get those cleaned up before you use this regularly. And then you can see the copper coils. You got the typical oxidation going on there. Okay, but overall they look like to be in fair condition. A little bit of damage on the fins. But life expectancy on something like this is 3 to 5 or 4 to 6 years more maybe. Alright, we're going to run it and get some temperatures and see how it does, but that's the first clip we have for you here at your house.